With me here, I have Mr. Abolore. He's the CEO of Ribi Finance, and this is Adeze. So Adeze is here to represent Alessia. Now we're going to be talking about how to run your school like a startup, how to run your school for growth. Like she said, I feel like this is the most important part of this event today. Because at the end of the day, you need to make money from your school. You need to optimize for growth. You need to make sure that money is coming from this operation. Because to be fair, if money is not coming in, all these things will be a waste. There will be nothing to implement all these things you've learned. So please, for the next few minutes, we're not going to take much of your time, but I want you to listen closely because these people here are people that are very familiar with how startups run, and I believe they will be able to tell you how to apply these run-ins to an educational model structure, which is your school in this case. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to start with Abolore. Okay, sorry. Okay, so first of all, so the thing is, when I walked in, I thought to myself that this is a different group from what I'm used to. Somebody that is in tune with all the technology, lingo and whatnot. So, first of all, you may wonder, why would I want to run my school as a startup? And I want you to tell us in very simple, clear terms what a startup is.
Okay, good afternoon everybody. So I think that's the perfect question to start with, because there's a difference between a startup and a small business or just any regular business. And the difference is that in the original definition of what a startup is, a startup seeks to solve a specific problem in a global thinking or a global mindset as fast as possible and efficiently as possible to grow beyond the immediate financial influence of the founders of the startup. So startups in the way they are designed today are high growth companies that should become more profitable than the immediate wealth of the founders of those companies.
Thank you.
As opposed to a subsistence business or a family-run business or a small business.
Okay, thank you. Adeze, I want you to further simplify this.
Okay, like you said, a startup is supposed to, normally with the startups we work with, we are always careful to find out what exactly it is you're trying to solve. So that's the most important thing. So you're not building, let's take startups for example, and we're going to talk more about it. So you're not going to build a business. Your business is supposed to solve a solution. So what's the solution that business is solving? And what need is it going to meet? So it's important you find out. And if you look at your school as, I think that's what we're trying to marry the two together to find out how you can see your school as a solution provider to a particular problem. So,
okay, without wasting much time, I want us to jump into the meat of the situation. Why is it important that schools are run as a startup, in the Nigerian context at least?
For Nigeria, we have like a series of problems that a lot of startups are trying to solve. So we have EdVest trying to solve a particular problem in education. We have health tech startups that are looking for problems, especially data and trying to reach people in health. So for Nigeria, it is important that startups pick particular solutions because it's solving the solutions that get us out of the place where we are, which is emerging markets and what they call these countries, developing countries, exactly. So it's very important that we look at these things as problems, not as regular things, not running the school like a regular business, but look at it as a solution, as a solution to a particular problem you are trying to solve.
Okay, so Abolore, how do you apply the startup mentality to a school context?
So, for a few of us that are still in the room, I think, I don't know how much time we have, but it would be great to have pointed questions so that we can help pretty much address specific questions that might be on people's mind. What I would say in terms of comparing a school to a startup is that, so I used to work in a company where I was vice president for one of the businesses, and we did, I don't know, $10 million in revenue in 18 months. That's over $1 billion at the time. I just wanted to say that to get you excited about the experience of some of us at this the podium. One of the businesses literally went from 0 students to 2,000 students in 18 months. The process of going from not having a school to becoming a school with 2,000 students, or perhaps a school without even a building. They actually don't even have a building. It's just an online, technology-driven school that partners with higher institutions like OAU and so on and so forth. That process of going from no students to 2,000 students in 18 months, where in comparison, I know a university that actually spent about $7 billion. Fantastic university. I love the university. I love the founders. Spent $7 billion. Trust me, they didn't spend $7 billion. They didn't even spend $1 billion. And they didn't have 1,000 students after 3 years. So your question is, why is it important for schools to adopt startup
model? Yeah.
So now there's a good side to that and there's a bad side to that. The good side to that is that you're on your toes every day. You don't wait till next year to see if what you're trying to do is working. You're asking yourself that question every month. Well, let's say in your scenario, every semester. What did you try last semester? Did it work? What's the difference between our push to get students that we're doing outwardly and the one that people are coming to us by themselves, which is outbound and inbound marketing? Why I think, or why I'm worried that schools need to adopt startup tactics, I will exemplify it by one thing, just one thing. I got married not too long ago, but now I have 2 kids. One of them is supposed to go to school first time in January. I mean, left to her mother, she will have started school, but there's no need for hurry, right? You can start in January. But no school has ever reached out to me till date. You probably don't even know that I exist. I am your customer, but I don't know you and you don't know me. Now my wife has gone to probably about 10 schools, or maybe 5, that detail. But we still haven't picked a school. The fact that no school is trying to search me out, or no crèche, or anything like that, means that there's still a lot to do in the school space in terms of startup marketing, or startup process like growth hacking. I'll give you an example. In startup, there's a term called growth hacking. And growth hacking is like ojoro, like cheating, right? So, in fact, growth hacking is almost cheating. So cheating is like, okay, so he's an A student. He always scores 95A, right? I can do 2 things. I can learn from him before the exam, or I can just sit down beside him and just write what to write. Growth hacking is almost like that, depending on how you see it. The good side and bad side. So one of the examples of growth hacking is, say she sells clothes. She's the largest distributor of clothing material in the country. And she doesn't want to do anything else, just wants to keep distributing clothes. But I know that those people buying the clothing materials would also need bottles, right? She only sells materials, like the material. But they'll need bottles. They probably need designs and pendants. They probably need all sorts of things. My focus, instead of trying to find everybody else trying to buy button and all the other zips, and things like that, I just partner with her. And I say, Auntie, as they are selling your material, please sell my button. On the back of our business alone, I can literally grow my entire sales program. We have done that, for example, at Ribi. We've partnered with a few key banks. We do a technology product for cooperatives, so cooperative banking and similar banking products. So we partner with banks, and I can tell you for free that we've grown to over 1 million users, like literally over 1 million people on our platform in less than 2 years. It's not because we spend the money to get to that place. It's because our partners were motivated for us to work together. In the case of a school, it sounds weird, but guess what? One of your partners, thinking about it from the perspective of a startup, might be wedding registry. Is there anyone in this room that done any marketing to wedding registry before? Please raise up your hand. You're a school owner and you have gone to market at the wedding registry. You just raise up your hand. No. So that's, and I'm not sure how much time we have, so I'm trying to keep it very short. That's an example of applying a startup thinking to your school. Positioning your school right. One advantage that schools have that they don't maximize is location advantage. I can afford a school in Ikoyi for my daughter, but I don't live in Ikoyi, I live in Yaba. So I'm not going to send my daughter to school in Ikoyi where they have to be leaving the house by 6:30 a.m. in the morning and traffic another 2 hours by 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. in the day. Not that I ran away from Ikoyi because of that kind of life. My office is in Yaba, technology is better in Yaba. And then I want to subject, no, I won't do that. So I am confined almost naturally to Yaba. It's called location advantage. The same thing for hospitals. Your location advantage, I don't see anybody using that significantly. I don't see any school adverts on my way home. I'm seeing adverts from MTN, I'm seeing adverts from the likes. Is it that, anyways, I think you get my point.
Thank you very much. So you started already. I was going to ask. So Adeze, give 5. He has already said what growth hacking is. 5. Okay, take 2 actionable growth hacking tips that can be readily applied.
Okay, so usually what we tell startups that we work with is one of the key slogans that for us at Zigstart is to fail fast and learn. So you find that there are a lot of ideas and there's a lot of fear regarding trying out an idea. And you find that people are not willing to tackle a solution because they are afraid that it's going to be a waste of time. But it's actually good you start early, try the method, fail at it, and then start again. Because the time you're spending not doing anything, it's wasted time already. But if you have tried and you've failed, you've learned, you've known that this path is not where you're supposed to go through, you try another path. So we advise people to experiment a lot. We do a lot of experiments with startups, experiments in social media. Today we are going in all Facebook groups that have to do with, in case you're targeting parents. Now you have Facebook groups that have parents. Do you have a list of Facebook groups that have parents? Give it to someone in your school. The person enters that, make sure that person goes into those groups and gets accepted, and your business is actually to advertise your school in subtle ways. So you're in the conversations you're having in that group, that is an experiment. You try that. You also try, aside the regular ways of marketing, there's so many ways there's websites you can build, you can try out search engine optimization. That's even more on that. You need a consultant for that. So sometimes these are methods and experiments you can try. I've talked about too. Also, there's also one thing schools don't do, and I think Edverse is actually a good platform to help you do that. That is also to track and analyze. So most schools just come in and then have the school starts, you go through the curriculum, you have exams, you're done, the next step begins, but nobody's tracking, nobody's checking. Did this method work for us? If it's not working, what number of, like they mentioned earlier, the platform gives you data. So you're seeing like a chart of growth, you're seeing the chart of when it went down, what happened, why it went down. So you need to startups constantly track and analyze these things. And if you don't do that to your school, you won't know your growth rate, you won't know your fail rate. So it's actually important that you know these things, you keep measuring. And if most times we say there's no time for this, teachers are busy, get someone that will be assigned to this kind of things to help your school.
Thank you very much, Adeze. Abolore, how do you, so for some people here that are wondering, they've heard these very good ideas, these wonderful ways to run as a startup, how do they start off? What do they do? Like, this is a completely new concept to a lot of people, So how do they make their schools become a startup from the growth perspective? Practical steps.
Okay, so there's no other way. If you want to run your school like a startup, you need to learn how to run a startup. It's been that simple. For example, if you want to use social media, you want to use technology, you can hire someone in technology to do that for you. Same thing if you want to run your school as a startup, you can do one of two things. Become a startup expert yourself. There's no such a thing as a startup expert, but if you get my context or you get my meaning, attend startup programs. Find out how startups are run. Startups don't plan for, like they do their planning for 5 years, but they live as though they are only alive for 6 months to 1 year, especially for the first 3 to 5 years of the life of the business. Startups don't, okay, number one, so that it's very crystal, you have to hire right to run as a startup. Number two, you have to measure the right things to run as a startup. It's not very easy, and they're very hard to begin to drill down right now. So for example, do you know how much, are there any school owners in the room, still in the room? Can I see hands? Yes ma'am, I see you ma'am. Okay, alright, great. Can anyone tell me how much it costs you today per student in your school? What's your total cost? Just give me a blank average today. Does anyone know that offhand? If you know, raise up your hand. No. Alright. That's the rule number one for a startup. How much will it cost you per customer? Number one, to acquire that customer, and number two, to run that customer. Your students are your customers. Let's be business blunt a bit in that perspective. If you don't know, for example, how much it will cost you to acquire that customer and to run that customer, and you don't know how long you will have that customer for, or how long you must have that customer for to be profitable, then you're not yet running the business as well. And it's okay, you're subsistently, you make more money than you're spending, but you will never be able to return significant returns to investors in that sense. So there are certain key things you must do to run your business like a startup. A startup is not a let us feed our family business. Let me put it that way. If you want to run your school like a startup, the mission behind your school in the first place must be that clear. There are two sides. There might be your own personal vision. Don't give up your personal vision on why you're trying to run the startup, because vision drives everything. If your vision is just to impact 1,000 students, just want to see 1,000 lives change, that's fine. When you get to 1,000 students, you can pick them. But if you have a broad vision, there's no big, there's no small. There's a product that we're launching that we don't even intend to sell to more than 10,000 people. We think that it's impossible to sell that product to more than 10,000 people, but we think that we're going to make about 100 million naira from that 10,000 people every year. And we want to make it so simple that anybody else can take it. Go and build another community of 10,000 people and make 100 million. It's okay, you just have to understand your own business. But once you understand that vision, then to run as a startup, you need to hire and be set up as a startup. The startup is very clear. You want to produce drones. Number one, you need a drone engineer. Number two, you need software developer. Number three, you need people that will sell the product. And number four, you need someone that will run the business. Simple. The same thing for a school. You want to run a school that is, say for example, the best in Yaba. Right? Number one, you need to find somebody that knows Yaba like the back of their fingers. If you don't know Yaba, you are not the one that will run that school to where it needs to be. You can be, there's a difference between owner and operator. You can own 99% or 100% of the business and run only 5% of the business. They're two completely different things. Number two is that you need to find the people that can create what it means to have an excellent school. Ma'am? I should explain. I really don't know schooling in that full sense. It's a startup a bit that I know a bit more. But when I say have an excellent school, what it takes to have maybe the best creative environment in the school, what it takes to have the best curriculum that goes beyond the regular curriculum, teach students both what they know, what they should know to pass the exams. It's important to pass the exams. Let's not discount that. We have to still pass the exams in this age and time. But but more importantly for them to be beyond just passing the exams. Unfortunately, it's very tough to run a school because except for passing the exams, it takes 30 years to do and say this is why we have built our identity. So again, to run like a startup, you need to go find what it takes to be a startup. Have the right team, the right people on the bus, 4 or 5 people that their job is to make sure that your business is the most successful one in your vicinity.
Thank you.
I leave on that.
Thank you very much. Okay, quickly.
Okay, quickly to add to what he said, especially regarding hiring right. You find out that a lot of problem with, you notice from schools is that you hire people that you think you can afford to hire. So you're not hiring this person because this person is good for the vision you have for the school or for the children in the school. You're hiring because, well, I can pay this person this amount of money at the end of the month. And you find that it doesn't help your business because then you're treating this person as a staff, not the way startups treat the first few people that will start up a business. Even if they are inside one room, not an office space, let's say they start in the founder's sitting room, you find out that they understand the vision of that business. So do your employers, your teachers, and your bossa, your everybody in that school, do they understand the mission? Is it clearly written? Do they know what you're trying to reach? How many times do you train them? How many times do you encourage them? How many times do you repeat the vision to them? So that they understand that this is their business. Do you treat them as staff? Or you treat them as owners, co-owners of this business? So that's one thing startups do, that you find out that people go together and produce a solution and work towards it, and they grow with it. So if schools start doing that, then it's possibly a very good way things will work out.
Thank you very much. So this is actually a very interesting topic, and if we continue, we're not going to leave here today. But after this session, I believe you can talk to the speakers, right? You can meet them and ask them any question you have concerning what we've been talking about, running like a startup, running lean, and growth hacking. And I think this brings our session to a close. Thank you very much, Abolore. Thank you, Adeze. Thank you guys for listening to us. Really appreciate you. Thank you.